Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. And so, welcome back to another episode of Astrology After Dark. My name is Katrice, the Natal Chart Navigator, and I am an intuitive astrologer. Okay. And I work with open minded individuals to help them figure out who they are energetically. Okay. And so, um, if you're new to me, to the show, I talk about astrology. That's what I talk about. I love astrology. Astrology is amazing. And so tonight I'm going to be talking about, I just got off of a call. That's why I'm kind of late. I was on another call. Excuse me. I was on another call, and we were talking about the spiritual laws. Okay. And so you getting tonight I'm going to talk about why getting a natal chart reading is a necessity. Okay. It's an absolute necessity. Okay. A lot of people think that uh getting a natal chart reading is just for convenience, or it's just for shits and giggles. But it's not. It is actually a necessity, especially in what is going on in our world, in our country. If you're in the United States watching this, it is definitely a necessity. You need to know who you are energetically so that you can move and function properly, so that you can move not properly but optimally. Okay. And so a chart reading, right? So when you pull your natal chart, you need to know your time of birth, your date of birth, and your place of birth. Okay, for the most accurate reading. Now, in a little minute, I'm working on some things. I'll be able to pull, um I forgot the name. I think it's called recalibration. Don't have me to lie. Anyway, um, you know, I'm learning a process to where I'll be able to pull charts without knowing the birth time. So it may not be as accurate as it could be. But it'll be pretty close if you don't know your time. But as of now, you do need to know your time of birth, your date of birth, your place of birth, okay, in order to pull your chart. Okay. Now, when you get a chart reading, there's 12 houses. Okay. There's 12 houses. Each house corresponds with a different area of your life. Okay. And so you need to know what energies are on each area of those houses, because that's energy. The energy that is on that house is how it is expressed in that area of life. Okay. So I was just talking with my coach today, and we were looking at her chart. She has Taurus on her fifth house. Fifth house is the house of creativity. Okay. But Taurus is one of those energies, and then she has Jupiter in that house. Okay. Jupiter expands whatever is in, whatever house is in it, expands it. It's the great benefic. Okay. So it makes everything all wonderful and beautiful. Okay. So Taurus is not it's a steady energy, it's a consistent energy, but it's not an energy that it's one of those energies where it's like it's going to do what it needs to do to get the job accomplished, but it's not going to go above and beyond. Okay. And so that energy is expressed in her creativity. Okay. She's very consistent and she's very creative. However, she's not going to go above and beyond creatively. Okay, versus somebody who say had Virgo in that house. If somebody had Virgo energy in that house, they would be more of the person that would go above and beyond. Okay, because Virgo is the type of energy that it's all about making things run as optimally and as best as possible. And so Virgo energy would go above and beyond creatively versus a Taurus energy, or even having say like Gemini energy, okay, in that house. Gemini energy would use their mind, they would come up with all types of creative things, but yet you know they may not be consistent though, because Gemini energy isn't a very consistent energy. It's a jack of all trades, master of none energy. Okay. And so you need to understand who you are energetically at the core, at your energy. Okay. Because energy is all that there is. Okay. Energy is literally all that there is. Everything is made up of energy. Okay. And so when you know who you are energetically, this makes the law of attraction work 10 times better. Okay. It makes it work 10 times better. Right. And so even when you look at your you go to your third house. Okay, the third house of your will. And actually, let me share my screen. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to pull up a chart. Um I'm going to pull my chart just because I haven't asked anybody. Hopefully it'll pull my chart. Let me pull my chart. Um, so that you can see. I haven't asked anybody, so I like to get permission before I just go pull up people's charts. But I'm gonna pull mine, and I'm gonna show you. I'm not gonna keep you guys long. But I am gonna show you this so that you can kind of get an understanding of what I'm talking about. Okay, because I don't want anybody. Let me see this one. Uh, let's see who's okay. Yeah, this one's mine. Okay. So I hope you guys can see. Oh wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Oh, why is this not? I think it's me. Chrome tab here, there. There we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, so no, yeah, this is me. Okay, so boom. So each house corresponds, like I said, to a different area of your life. Okay. So this here, this third house here, this is the house of communication, right? And so this is where you have your mind. This is where you have your mind, even your thought processes, your speech, early education, siblings, local community. All of that is housed here in this house. Okay. Now I have Libra on this house. Libra is an air sign. Libra is a very social sign. Okay. However, a whole lot of people don't know me in my local community. Like, I'm not like you would think. Having Libra here on this house, I would be very social. A lot of people would know me because Libras are people who they're very social, and a lot of people, they're normally pretty popular, pretty famous. But I have Saturn in this house, okay, and so wherever Saturn is in your chart, it's restriction. Okay, Saturn is the planet of restriction. So for me, I'm not famous. I'm not like a lot of people don't know me in my local community. Okay, they don't know me. I wasn't a popular kid. I wasn't popular in high school, and people, if they did know me, they knew me because of my older kid's dad, because he was like, people knew him. He used to be out and about or whatever. I stay home. I was homebody. People didn't know me like that unless you went to school with me. Okay, and so Libra is also the sign of the scales, right? And so balance. Libra is all about balance. And with me having my Mercury here in this house, in the sign of Libra, I do pros and cons a lot. When I'm making a decision, especially an important decision, um, I look at the pros and the cons. Okay, what's the pros, what's the cons? And then kind of move intuitively. But before I make a decision, I'm going to list the pros and the cons to help me come to that decision. I'm a very decisive person. Um, my Mercury is retrograde, so my natal Mercury, so those energies are more inward. So I'm a decisive person. Okay. But I still do a pros and a cons list. I still weigh out the good and the bad. I still scale. Okay. And so that's what you having Libra. That's how that energy is expressed in this house. You having Libra on this house. Okay. Now my fifth house is in the house of Sagittarius, and it's a very, very. I have four placements here, right? Sagittarius energy is the energy that's all about the higher knowledge, the higher learning. It's also about religion and philosophy, and all of those things. And so it's also a fire energy. So fire is all about action. And then I have like one, two, three, four placements here. So this is a house that's going to be more emphasized for me. And so me being creative, I'm taking action. And then I have Uranus here. Uranus is the planet of shock and illusion, and it changes things quick. It's the planet of rebellion. Okay. It rules Aquarius. And so for me, not only do I take action, but I do things in a quirky way, right? So I don't do my creativity is kind of quirky, like things come across, like I talk about astrology, okay, right? I went from doing insurance, which I still do, but like I went from doing insurance, talking about insurance online, to talking about astrology. Two polar, like total opposite. Like they're not even uh not even in the same vicinity, right? But that's creatively, right? That's how that energy is expressed. Me talking about astrology, that's right up Sagittarius realm, Sagittarius energy, right? And so, and then I have all these placements, so that makes it emphasized even more. Okay. So that's how it's expressed for me. Now I have Mars here in Sagittarius. So again, Mars is ruled by Aries, right? And so Aries is all about action. It's that go-getter action. And I have it here. It's like I be ready to go. It's like come up with something. Okay, boom. Let's run it. Let's take action. And then sixth house here. Sixth house is your daily work, your routines. Okay. Mine is in the sign of Capricorn. And so I need order. I need structure. Right. And I was just talking to my coach earlier today, and I was like, you know, I, I was like, I can't do things that Keisha, because, Keisha's like kind of like all over the place, but it works for her. But that doesn't work for me. See, I need order in my daily routine, right? I need order. I need structure. Capricorn is all about structure. It's all about achievement. It's all about order. It's all about status, right? It's all about leadership. Capricorn there's a workflow. You don't just, if you know any people who have Capricorn energy, people who are very goal oriented, achieve and goal oriented, they set goals, they achieve, like their Capricorn energy are high achievers, like people who are really like high achievers. I can guarantee you they have some heavy Capricorn placement somewhere in their chart, somewhere, because that is Capricorn energy. It is all about status. Okay. And then it's ruled by, Saturn. And Saturn is that taskmaster. Like you're gonna do it right, and you're gonna keep doing it until you get it right. And you know what I'm saying? And so now, had I not pulled my chart, I wouldn't have known all this about me. And I would still be clueless, wondering, why do I do this? Why things aren't, flowing for me? You know, um, why things aren't flowing for me? Why is it that why do I need to do things this way? Why can't I do it that way? And so looking at my chart, well, it's telling me why I have to have order and structure in my day. You know what I'm saying? Looking at my chart, it's telling me, you know what I'm saying, about my communication style, how I talk, how I speak, how I think, how I solve problems, right? All of that is here. Okay. Money house. Second house is the money house. Okay. My sun is here in the money house. So at the core of me, I'm focused on my money. I'm focused on you know what I'm saying, making sure that I get to my bag. Now I'm it, and it's in a orderly way. Okay, because Virgo energy is also an orderly energy. Okay, and so it's in an orderly way. I don't like chaos. I don't like to be all over the place. I have lists. And I'm not a real detailed. I'm not a detailed, super detailed, super picky, super perfectionistic Virgo. I have to go into the deacons. I think the next astrology after dark, I'll break down the deacons. I have a little I'll make a Google Doc and I'll break it down, the different deacons. And that's why some Virgos aren't as perfectionistic as others. I'm one of those Virgos, I'm a little more laid back and chill, right? Versus I got a friend, she a little bit more on the typical Virgo. Um she's a little more typical Virgo than I am. Okay, I'm a little more laid back. Oh, excuse me, or whatever. But with me having my son here in the second house, um, money, personal finance, material possessions, that stuff is important to me, right? My Venus is also here as well. Okay, Venus is the planet of love. Venus also rules second house. So Venus here in the second house puts more emphasis on me, having money, having material possessions, but doing it in a systematic, orderly way, in a way where I can serve. Okay, me doing astrology here, that's me being serving. Even when doing insurance, I'm still serving. I'm still educating. I'm still helping people to get something they need. I'm providing a service. Virgo energy is all about providing service. Okay, and so whatever I do in my lifetime to make money, it's going to come from me providing service to people, providing service, providing value to them. Okay, so the deacons, yeah, the deacons are, that's what I'm gonna talk about. The deacons are there's three deacons in each, and it doesn't show me who it is. So Facebook user, what's your name? Who are you? So the natal chart is law. So the natal chart is law to you. What do you mean, when you say the natal chart is law? I mean, it's not. I'm the type of person, like, I don't get stuck on one thing, right? Um, Vandalin. Oh, hey, boo. So for me, the natal chart just shows me the energies that are inside of me. Okay, and so, um, I look at each house, I look at those energies, and it lets me understand how I'm going to show up in that area of life. Okay. But I look at the tarot readings, I do numerology. Like, I'm not attached to just one thing. I love astrology. I really do. Because you can literally figure out anything about your life, somebody else's life, your husband, your wife, if your marriage gonna fall apart, like literally anything you can figure out with astrology. You can get answers for, but I'm not attached to just astrology. Like, I don't look at astrology as the end all be all. Okay. I just look at it as a tool that I use to help me to navigate this life experience. That's that's how I look at anything. Like, I don't get emotionally attached to anything. I just look at everything as a tool. It's like the Bible. I look at the Bible as a tool. The Bible is not the end all be all for me. Okay. And no shade to nobody else. If it is for you, or whoever's watching. It's just not for me. It is a tool that I use to help me navigate this, this experience. But yeah, deacons is what I'm going to talk about Wednesday, because it's very important to understand. When I got that, it made a lot of sense, as to why, um, you know, some people are like the classic textbook, what they say the sign is, and other people are not. They don't feel like they are. And then your rising sign too also has to go with that, because some people identify more with their rising sign, versus their actual sun sign. Their sun sign might not even, that energy might not sh- show up as much, and it also depends on the placements. So hold on, I'm gonna share my screen again, and I'm gonna show you something what I mean. um okay, so like I showed you here, I'm a Virgo sun sign, Virgo Venus. Okay, and so, you know it I felt like a Virgo. I used to feel like a Libra. I felt like I was a Libra, because as you can see, my sun sign here, see where it says this 2958? That's the degrees. Okay. So that's the degrees of where the sun is at. And the degrees is what, is the deacons. Okay. And so had I been born 45 minutes later, I would have been a Libra. Okay. And so my sun would have been in the third house. Okay. Um, but because I have these three placements here in Libra, and then my sun is just so close to being in that Libra energy from like about maybe 12, maybe about 12, because that's when I kind of really started, dibbling dabbling in astrology. It was probably about 12. Um, I thought I was a Libra. I was like, oh, I'm born on the cusp, and cusps don't even exist, but that's a whole nother conversation. I had to do a TikTok about that one. But like, so I felt like I was a Libra, right? And so when I pulled my chart and that I had all these placements in Libra, that's why I felt like I was a Libra. Okay. And so I also didn't feel like I was a Virgo, because I have four placements in Sagittarius. Actually, I feel more of a Sagittarius than anything, because I have so much fire here in my rising sign, which is the energy that you show that people meet, the rising sign is the energy that people receive when they first meet you. Okay. And so because my rising sign is fire, and then I have all this fire, I feel more like I'm a fire sign. Okay. Thank for my Virgo energy, because it helps to keep me grounded. Okay. But I feel more like a Sagittarius. So I am not your typical Virgo. I'm not the prudish, nitpicky, perfectionistic, shy, don't like, to be in the spotlight, Virgo. Okay. That's just not me. Okay. Um, and so your placements matter as well. When I'm analyzing a chart, or if you're looking at your chart, you the first thing you want to do is understand this right here. Okay, understand these little colors here. You want to understand those energies first, because that is the energy that is going to be expressed throughout the house. Even if the house is empty, even if there's nothing in the house, in that area of life, this energy is what will be expressed. Okay. So for in relationships, Aquarius is on my seventh house. And so when it comes to relationships, I'm kind of like a it's my I like I'm an unconventional person. Okay, I'm very unconventional. I can be aloof. I can be aloof. Like we can be talking, and then I'll just be like, I don't want to talk to you no more. Like, and I know it's not nice, but it's like, the vibe changed. The vibe changed, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't want to deal with that, and I don't have no problems with telling you that. I don't have no problems with, just I'll tell you that, and then you just won't hear from me ever again. Like I have no problem with that, but that's Aquarius energy. That's Aquarius energy. Okay, and so you have to learn the energies that's on the house first. Okay, you want to learn that energy, and then I go and I look at the house, and then I look to see what planets are in that house. Okay, and how that energy is, how the planet's energy and the of the house are going to work together, how they're going to be expressed. Okay, so the qualities of the planet and the energy that's on the house is how the themes of this house will be expressed. Okay, and if there's no planets, then it's just the themes of this house are going to be expressed through that energy. Okay, that's how those things will be expressed. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, hope it makes sense. All right. So let's see. You have anybody else have any questions? No. Okay. So I hope you guys found a value in this episode of Astrology After Dark. If you did, please do share it out so that others may find value as well. Also, if you are watching this on YouTube and you found value, if you want to go ahead and give me a like and subscribe, and make sure you hit the bell so that you get notifications anytime I go live or I upload a reading. Okay. I mean, not a reading. I upload a new video. I got a lot of content that's going to be coming out here this week. So you definitely want to be subscribed to the YouTube channel. Okay. When you go on YouTube, just search Natal Chart Navigator and it will come up. Now, if you want to get a natal chart reading with me, okay, you can comment here on the live, or you can DM me. You can also email me, Katrice at thenatalchartnavigator.com, and just let me know which reading you want, if you want a career reading or a natal chart reading, your date of birth, time of birth, place of birth, and your email. If you're emailing me, I'm gonna have your email. But if you message me on Facebook, definitely include your email because the readings are recorded, the recorded readings, and so I do email it to you, and then you also get your life path. You get your life path is, an explanation, interpretation of that, and then I send my link for you to book a Q&A session. You do get a Q&A session. It is included in the cost of the reading, so that you get an hour with me to ask me any questions that you have about the reading. I give you an hour to ask me questions, to clear things up, because it's one thing to just get a reading and you're like, oh, okay, but you may have questions. Everybody that's gotten a reading, they have questions. So I definitely want you to be able to have, time to ask me questions so that you can better understand who you are. Because at the end of the day, the whole purpose of getting the reading is so that you know who you are, so that you can now function optimally. Okay. So I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your evening. And remember that possibilities are endless. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. And that should make you smile. Have a